We are officially stuck. All right, hey guys, welcome to Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Samkoviak. We have this truck stuck on purpose. I'm not putting it in four-wheel drive. It's just stuck here in a hole. You can see I got it down in this deep hole here in my yard. I got a couple spots where they buried stumps before, but with that front end dropped in there so low, and in two-wheel drive, you can see I'm just sitting there spinning. I'm not going anywhere. And but I'm going to show you a trick today that everybody that spends any time in the woods alone needs to know how to do for self-recovery. Okay, this is a mandatory thing, and very few people know how to do this. Not many people do, but it is a way to be able to get your vehicle unstuck out of any situation there is by turning your vehicle into an actual winch. And it's an incredible system, and it works for everything. And it's like I said, can't say enough, you need to know how to do this. You spend time in the woods alone, this is the #1 best self-recovery way there is. And it can go forward or backward because it uses your wheels as the winch, but you can pull out forward if you needed to, or you can go out backwards if you had to. So it gives you those options, and it's very inexpensive and not much is needed. Now, I do not have rear lockers on this truck, okay? It's the first truck I've owned without rear lockers, and it will also be the last truck I ever own without a rear locker. What a rear locker does is, see how I got dirt spinning on this one? Let's see if there's any over here. Let's see. Notice, nothing spinning here. Look, no dirt or anything. This wheel's not even moving. Yet this wheel is digging a hole and throwing all that dirt there. Why is that? Because I don't have lockers, okay? Stupid. What kind of truck doesn't come with a locker? Any vehicle that has off-road in a truck that doesn't have lockers should automatically be fired immediately. And I don't know why they make it, but I thought, oh, okay, I'll be all right. No, never again. Always get it. Anytime you buy a truck, get the lockers. That means like if you're buying the Ford, you're going to want like the FX4 version. You're getting Toyotas or Tacomas, you want the TRD or the TRD off-road or trail. You need something with a locker. If you're getting Jeeps, you need Rubicon or what, you need lockers. In a Ram, you're going to want the off-road package. I don't know what Chevy does for theirs, how they offer a locker. I don't own Chevys. I haven't owned a Chevy in a long time, but with the Ram, you want what's called their off-road package, or you need the locker. You can get it as an option, but either way, get the electronic rear locker. Plain and simple. Get that. Don't not have it. But because what happens now is I have one wheel spinning. It's the only wheel doing anything. Even if I was in four-wheel drive, if this was stuck in four-wheel drive, you think you have four-wheel drive, you don't. You actually only have two-wheel drive in a non-locked vehicle. One here and one up front. Whichever one gets the least amount of traction and breaks free first is the one that will spin. The other one will sit idle. If you had a rear locker and you were in four-wheel drive, you'd at least have three wheels going. One would be working in the front and both of your rears would work. So rear locker is vitally important. Even my Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk has rear lockers. I don't understand why a truck would be made without it. But since we do not have rear lockers, we have to actually connect to both wheels. Okay, both rear wheels, so we can't just do one. Now on my Cherokee, I can just do one, and that's how I've used it before. But I can just wrap one wheel and work it because the rear wheels are locked together. Hope that makes sense. So, how do we do this? How do we get that truck unstuck by ourselves, quick and easy? And imagine if it was mud and nasty stuff, which I'm not getting my straps all dirty to show you that. So the concept is the same. It works the same. Real simple setup. So what do we got to do? First of all, we don't need much. You are going to need 2 straps, and they don't have to be quality straps, okay? They do not have to be really nice, high-end quality straps like we usually use. And then you're going to need another strap that is a quality strap. This one is pretty old and beat up. I also keep I keep a lot of recovery gear in all my vehicles, and this truck is no different. In here behind, I got my White Scott power puller. I got 3 more huge 4-inch straps back here. I got more straps in here. I got all kinds of everything you can imagine in this truck. But with that said, and I even have 2x4s back here that are cut that can be strapped with those straps around the wheel is another. I've shown videos on that too as well. So lots of ways to get unstuck. And you notice I got the trusty shovel right there, saws, everything. Again, when you spend time off-road, you're going to get stuck. You better have recovery options. I have tons of them, multiple options to get me unstuck. This one, though, is by far my favorite. It is quick and easy to set up, and it's foolproof. It will not fail on you. It works. So what are we doing here? We have 2 straps. Okay, this is a brand new one that I just bought. Here's the one I had in my Renegades, my Cherokee, because it is a locker, so I don't need to have 2. But you got... So you're going to need 2 straps here, 2 20-footers, because of the fact that you do not have locking rear differentials. So you got those 2, and then 1 main connector strap and a couple shackles to put it together. Tree saver if you want to protect the trees, to wrap around it, whatever you want to do. I'll probably show it without the tree saver because it's my property, and just to show you how to do it if you didn't have that. So you're not talking much gear here. So what we are going to do is we are going to actually turn these wheels, both back wheels, into an actual winch. They are going to be doing the same thing as what your winch does. On a winch on the front of a vehicle, you are got a cable on a spool. You pull the cable out and you lock that cable. So you would grab that cable, pull it out, wrap it around a tree, engage the spool, and as the spool rolls, the cable gets shorter and it pulls the vehicle. We're going to do the same concept by putting straps on those tires, and then as we drive over those straps, they are going to suck that up and it's going to pull itself out of here by wrapping the strapping around the tires. So it's a very simple, easy process. We're going to go ahead and set it up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, we have it set up. You can see I got a strap wrapped right around here, fed through the wheel and tucked back on itself like that. Just goes through there. Just make sure you're not putting that on the valve stem. Okay, you don't want to break your valve stem off. But I got that strap on that side. Comes back there, meets there. Have this strap on this side. Again, watching the valve stem, centered out perfect on the wheel. This is going to drive over itself and pull that around and back itself up. So I got those on there. Those are set. They come back. They join to a what am I thinking of here? A shackle. And then I got them here to a tree strap. I did use another one, a longer one for a tree saver on there, and another shackle there. So this is the setup. So when we go and we start to drive, what it's going to do is it's going to drive over its own strap is basically the concept here. It's going to pull right over its own straps and then wheel itself right out of that hole. That's going to go in reverse, so it's going to pull those down and under and fish itself out of there. So put you on the tripod. We'll see what it does here. Check that, spun that around, we got the slack up, let's see how we're looking. Okay, we're going to be good, we're right on that strap, just like we want to be. That one has not even kicked over yet. And it will. That one will kick over once it gets a chance to here. This one starts rolling. See how that just got tight? And we are now out. It's that simple. Use the wheel to actually winch the truck out of the hole. Very simple process. Works fantastic, as you can see right there. Now the other one may not have even had to because we weren't stuck too bad, so that's just laying there still. Yeah, the other strap didn't even have to kick in, but you can see what happened here. You can see how it's got tight, went right around, and it winched itself out by wrapping itself right around there. Now you don't want to get too crazy because you don't want to put pressure and wrap tight around your axle. See how it fell off the top of the, it was up there and it fell off the top of the tire, just laying there, so you don't want to go too far with this. But, I mean, you can see we just went, you know, we went 15 feet is what we just drove and got out of that hole, and it worked perfect. But it will winch you right out by using your own vehicle to do that. And then you just disassemble everything. We just undo this clevis, pull the strapping right out of there. It's not complicated because it's, like I said, it'll still be under the tire right here, but I'll be able to unclevis it, get myself some slack, and then I'll pull forward, or I can keep going backwards to get off of that so that I can release this knot here, which you can see is definitely tightened up going around the tire. But once I pull forward or backwards, that will release that tension on there and let me pull it off sweet and easy. So there it is. Nothing to it, nothing complicated. All right, now something we want to take into consideration. I already pulled this off the wheel. I backed up and took it off. Wasn't thinking I should have mentioned this while it was on there, but I just threw it back over. But you want to take this very slow, okay? And you want either somebody to watch it or you to watch it. You got to make sure that strap is staying on the tire. And if it pops off on the inside, you got to stop and go forward, reposition it, or check it, because you do not want that strap to break any brake line. See that brake line right here? Right there. See, if that strap comes down and tightens on there, that can snap that brake line. You got stuff going on in here that you don't want to damage, so you need to keep it on. That strap has to be on the tire like this. If it pops off, stop. Okay, if it pops off, it's got enough wiggle room. It's not going to tighten up because you got such a huge diameter tire in such a small diameter area here that if it pops off the tire, there's going to be a lot of loose slack in here. Okay, it's going to pop and just lay there and not hurt anything. But if you continue to keep going that way, then you'll take that slack out and tighten up around there, and you'll snap that brake line. So you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that you, if it pops off the tire, you know, skips off to the inside or outside, that you stop. Obviously, you kind of need to anyway, because it's going to be over here on the side and not something you're going to drive over, okay? So you need that to be on that tire like this, and if it pops to the inside and pops off of there, then you stop what you're doing, pull forward just a smidge, grab it, pull it back out, feed it over the top again so it's back in line, and then take it slow. Very simple process, but do not go spinning hard on this. This is a gentle, slow, let the power of the engine do this trick for you here and get you set up and out of there. Also, when you are all done, roll your straps, okay? Don't take your strap and just go, oh, it's all dirty and muddy, and throw it in the bed of your truck, okay? Not going to be good. Don't do that. Take your time and roll your straps and get them so that they're safe, protected, and stored the correct way. So always roll them up, get them set up. Even if they're dirty and you're going to unroll it, put it back later, a loose strap like this laying in the bed of a truck, because these are so wide, wind can pick these up and take them out, and these are serious, man. These can break some stuff, rip some stuff apart. If this happens to get caught on your tailgate here, back here or something, and then it actually, or any gear you have back here, and that flap drops over the front and your front wheel hits it, it'll rip that whole bed of your truck right off. These things don't play around. They're not like a little wimpy ratchet strap where the strap will just snap for you. So make sure you roll them, put them away, have them protected, and but that's it. I mean, that's all you need for this process. Okay, it was a very easy deal here. We got 2 shackles. I always carry a minimum of 4. Not expensive. I will have links down below for you. But a couple shackles. Doesn't matter if they're soft or steel. I still use the steel ones, but the soft ones I hear are fantastic also. But shackles, 2. These 20-footers I use, these are the ones that I actually carry in my Cherokee. And because I have a locker on my Cherokee, I can connect them together if I need to make it a 40-footer. But with the locker, I'm only running 1 wheel. If you're doing this on a non-locked differential like we have here, I would recommend your 2 straps to go from the wheels to your main point. I would make them 30-footers each, okay? That way your angle is not so severe. With these 20-footers, this is the first time I've had to use it. I did this with this truck, and although it worked fantastic, the angle from the back wheels to that point, bring it in pretty narrow together here, so you're only going to get about 2 or 3 tire revolutions, which is usually enough before you end up, before you get to too much of that V and they pop off the inside of that tire. So having 2 30-footers for this truck, which I will buy now, you know, like this is a 30-footer here, this one's 30-footer, but having 2 of these 30-footers and running a 30-footer from the tire there and a 30-footer there, and then connecting those to your tree, that's going to take that angle, which is going like this here on the ground, like this, real tight, and it's going to spread that angle more and give you more length that you can travel with your wheels. Okay, that's going to be important. So for a truck with anything that you have that does not have a rear locker, I would go 2 30-foot straps, and then another 30-foot strap for your main one, because you can wrap that 30-footer around a couple times if you need to shorten the length up. So I would go 3 30-foot straps is what I would do for this. 1 for here, 1 for there. Bring them together, shackled, run it out to your tree 30 feet, wrap it around a tree to take up the slack, shackled, like you saw, and you're good to go. So it's not very involved with what you have to have here. If you have locking rear differential, you can cut out a lot of this stuff and you can just run, you know, you can basically get by with two 20-footers, you know, because all you need is one straight line right from the wheel to your tie-off point is all you need, because you got the rear locker. You don't have to connect both wheels together. They are locked together like this, not one spins and this one sits idle. And then if this one catches and this one, you know, it's not that. It's one, they're both spinning continuously. So it doesn't matter which one you hook up to on a lock differential, you'll be able to back right out with just one. So with a locker, you only need to have two, you know, so it makes it really easy. So there you go. Simple. But this is something every single person needs to know how to do. This is self-recovery tactics at its finest. And this one will get you out of the mud. It'll get you out of the sand. It'll basically get you out of anything you need to by using your own vehicle as a winch. Okay, and when you spend enough time in the woods as I do, you learn every technique there is. And I've shown you other videos on the 2x4s. Remember in my one video why everybody should carry two 2x4s in the back of their truck and they were full length? Well, now they're cut short. Why? Because I had to use those 2x4s and the straps on the tire to wheel out of stuff when I was down in Georgia. So like I said, there's tactics that are very important to have. This is one of them. I hope you learned something for it. Links will be down below in the description for you to this stuff here to give you some good ideas and options. These things are not expensive. These ones I just bought for the Cherokee here to replace the ones that I had to use last time. I didn't use them for getting unstuck, but I used them to haul it. We were out in the woods and there was a tree that fell down there and it was blocking a major road through there, so I brought my chainsaw and cut it. But I used my straps in the Cherokee to drag those and I ended up ripping up the straps pretty good. So I bought two new ones. These are $13 a piece. They're not expensive. 20 foot and they're pretty decent. And for a car, they're great. For this 8,000 pound diesel, these are not what I would recommend. I will put down below some heavier duty ones, so you got some good quality like these. This one's pretty beat up, but this is a pretty good heavy duty quality. I'd even go a little thicker for the diesel. I will have all that stuff in the description below for you. Thanks for watching.